Another glorious day in Hinchinbrook, and I've got some new toys to play with. So what I wanted to do today is just firstly go through what I got and why I got it with regards to my forward-facing sonar, the Active Target 2, paired up with the 12-inch Lowrance HDS Pro. So first up, why Lowrance and why the Active Target? I've been with Lowrance for nearly 30 years now. By with Lowrance, I mean using their products for nearly 30 years. I've always found them to be really good with service, really good products, never really had any issues with them. So when it come to the choice between either Lowrance or Garmin, and that was the other choice I was tossing up for quite some time, my ultimate deciding factor was that I was comfortable with Lowrance, and on top of that, the Active Target 2 had come out. So it was an improvement on the Active Target 1, and doing a little bit of research, I am hearing that the Active Target 2 now is pretty close, if not comparable, to the Garmin. So had a chat with the guys at Navico and up there at Bill's Marine in Cairns. I was going to go the Elite, but they advised me because of the processing power of the Pro that I should go the Pro, and I bit the bullet and ended up going with that. So don't regret that decision at all, and really appreciate their advice on that. And all I've done there is I've got a seat post up the front and a seat pole, and I've got Adam and the crew at Crow Innovations to weld a mount on there for me and put the ram mount swing post on there to put the Pro on there. And look, I was originally going to make my own pole or buy just one off the shelf, and after a few weeks of research and talking to a few guys in my brains trust, thank you to those, they know who they are, I end up settling on the Crow pole. So I don't regret it. It cost me a little bit more than what I was originally envisaging to pay, but I think it's going to be well worth it. And look, by the time I piece everything together, I mean, Adam does all the wiring. There's all the fuse box down inside the hatch down in there. We can have a quick look. So you can see down in there the control bank down there, all the wiring, everything. And the pole, which you'll see a little bit later on, is really easy to use, and I'm really pleased that I went with that option. So the real question is, why after all this time have I gone to forward-facing sonar? And look, there's a couple of reasons. One, I'm fortunate enough, I sold my big boat and I had a little bit of money left over to look at buying some toys, so that's fortunate, because let's face it, this setup is not cheap. It's not going to be for everyone. But look, putting that aside, there were some questions that I really wanted answered. There's some areas that I fish that are quite large. You'll get areas that are, they could be the size of a football field, and searching them with a lure is all but impossible. So I really want to use this to search those areas to answer the question, are there schools of fish, are there bigger fish in that area there that I could be fishing rather than the obvious spots? So that's one. The second, for those who watch my my YouTube channel know that I do a lot of flats and a lot of drains, a lot of shallow stuff, and quite often I'll cruise in, cut the motor, put it on electric, and then nose into where I can get within casting distance or where I want to be. And that 2 or 3 meters of water before I get to that, I'm always wondering, all right, are there fish in that water that I'm spooking that I can, that I can actually fish before I get there? So should I be fishing earlier? Should I be searching that area, starting to fish before I get to where I think the fish, or I know from experience that the fish are? And the third thing is that I've spent a lot of time chasing a meter salty. I've got several freshwater meter barra, I've got up to just shy of 98 centimetre in the salt, and I've got every fish in the 90s, from 90 to 91 to 92 to 93, all through there. I have not cracked the meter yet, and I'm hoping that this will help me achieve that. So that last one, the meter salty, is a, you know, a personal achievement that I want to get, but it's not the main reason. The main reason is I want to understand where these fish are holding up, or are there areas these fish are holding up that I'm not aware of, and, you know, looking at their behavior. If I go in, for example, and I'm in an area and I spook fish, you know, do they come back? Does it take a long time for them to come back? There's a lot of little questions on top of the main ones there that I want answered, and I'm hoping that this will answer it for me. So, all right, I'm going to get out and do some exploring. I've been waffling on here for a while now, so it's probably getting boring now. So I really do want to get into it. But just before I leave you to head off to go to the first spot, my plan is to do what I've just done, lay it all on the table, why I've got what I've got, and then come back to you in, I don't know, a few months. It could take a year, I don't know, but come back another video and explain what I've learnt. For those guys who've already got forward-facing sonar, it's probably going to be obvious to you, but those who are thinking about it, or who have got it and don't really use it much and want to understand it a bit more, you know, I'm hoping someone like me who gets out every weekend and hoping to use it almost every weekend. I won't use it exclusively or all the time. I want to use it. It is a tool, so I don't want to go, you know, and too heavy on it. I want to be able to enjoy my fishing, and looking at that TV 24/7 when I'm out here is not something that I want to do. So, all right, that's enough for me waffling on. Let's get out there and do some exploring.